Wait. Wait! This is all bugged out. Why is it so fucked? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It doesn't look like that on my screen. The fuck? It won't even let me edit it to change that. Wait a minute. Okay, we're gonna have to do this manually. OBS is fucking me over. Okay, we're going manually. It doesn't let me choose the location of the media file. It's just putting it in the corner for some reason. What can you do? We'll do this manually. We're doing it manually. Let's just go over. Alright, here we go. We're doing it this way. Alright, here we go. We're doing it live. We're just gonna do a live chat. Here we go. New change coming in season 10. Let's see how many of you guys figure out what's happening here. How many of you guys figured it out? You guys know? I'm curious how many people actually were able to tell what's going on here. All items are 85. Monka. Anyone know what it means? What does it mean, chat? WoW allocated loot. Someone in chat got it. So in season 10, again, in season 10, there will be the option on game creation to set allocated loot. What this means is that when enabled on game creation mode, the game will automatically allocate loot to party members for 10 seconds. And that'll be runes from Lem Plus, Worldstone and Catalyst Shards, charms, jewels, set items, unique items, map materials, uber materials, puzzle boxes and puzzle pieces, and extremely rare items like mirrors, vials, skeleton keys, navigators, and almanacs. All of those will get allocated for 10 seconds if you have the option enabled. I'll show you a little preview here in a second. How did I lose the image? I guess I deleted it. Here's a little preview. You can see here there's the allocated loot option. This is so good I don't even think I believe it. Yeah, so there will be an allocated loot option. And you can choose whether you want to play the old school free-for-all. Who does it get allocated to? Game creator? It gets allocated at random. Fully random. So again, any of the items that I listed for 10 seconds will be automatically rolled to a certain player in the party, and after 10 seconds will become free-for-all again. Is it proximity based? It is proximity based. You will have to be within 2 screens or you cannot be part of the allocation pool. This will be a nice test to see if D2 players actually like person loot or if they think they will. I agree, Warren. I was thinking the same thing. So if you are within 2 screens, then if any of the following items drop, again, runes, Lem Plus, Worldstone Catalyst Shards, charms, jewels, set items, unique items, map materials, uber materials, or rare items such as boxes, mirrors, etc. Those will all be allocated to a random player within 2 screens for 10 seconds. And then after that, will become free-for-all once again. So I can show you guys the video one more time if you want. Why is that doing that now? Something really weird is going on with my OBS. Now it's putting other things in the corner. It's really weird. My OBS is doing weird things. Whatever. Yeah, you guys can see it here. And again, you'll be able to change how this looks. So if you look in this video here, we'll talk about this a little bit and go into a little bit more detail. You can see here, an item that's allocated to somebody else instead of you will be grayed out for that 10 seconds, right? You can see this is a unique shark tooth armor, right? And you'll be able to change this on your own loot filter. So if you want to change the way it functions, you can change on your loot filter. The base is that it's grayed out, and this is if you're using D2GL. If you're not using D2GL, you'll get this like unallocated text over it. So yeah, you'll get, if you try to pick it up, it'll just tell you I can't and stuff like that. You'll get the little I can't message. And then after a little while, you'll see it come not grayed out anymore. And then there you go. There's no one in this video 2 screens near to you. Yeah, this is just to show you how it functions. So in this screen, there's no one near me. But again, this is just proof of concept. This is a developer showcase, right? And again, you can still see the color of the item if you pay close attention. So if my mouse is not over the unique, you can see the unique color, right? Through the opacity. You can see it's unique in the color of the text. If you compare the small crescent on the bottom left to the unallocated unique shark tooth armor, you can kind of see the difference, right? So allocation is always active. It's a decision on game creation. And we'll show in the game lists which games have allocated loot as well. So you'll be able to know before you enter the game. And you'll also be able to see at the top right, once we set it up, that it's an allocated game. Santana SN with the Prime, appreciate that. Are you removing the dot roll feature then? No, we're not removing the dot roll feature. Not at all. There's no reason to remove the dot roll feature. You could still roll and use allocated loot. You could still roll and not use allocated loot. You could do whatever you want, right? Can you maybe add a timer adjustment, maybe from 10 down to 2 to 3? So again, the 10 is not something that we're permanently decided on. It's just what we put as a default. I know Path of Exile uses 5, I believe, for example. So we may adjust that number. I wouldn't get too hung up on the number. We'll kind of play with it. We'll see how we feel. That number will probably be adjusted during beta until we come to something that we're all happy with. But yeah. Will other people know the game was created with allocated loot? Yes, it will say both in the game list as well as it will show somewhere in-game when you join. Either on an in-game join message, or our plan currently is for it to show at the top right where it says hell and stuff like that, right? Where it says hell in the game timer. Our plan is to put it up there. But yeah, again, we'll mess with it and we'll see how it goes. Will loot filters also show it is grayed out default in the announcement? I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll have to get back to you on that. We have the option to select a player to receive all loot, for example, for rushes. No, that would just be free for all. You would just play free for all and let them take it all. What happens if I drop unidentified stuff? Nothing. If a player drops it, this is unrelated to players dropping items. This is only if a monster drops an item. Real Raw with a T1, I appreciate that. Here, I'll put this on repeat. You guys can just keep watching it for a second. Does it reset to normal item when you pick it up? Yeah, it doesn't. It won't have any effect. There's no loot allocation if a player drops an item. It's only if a monster drops an item. Is this 10 seconds after drop or 10 seconds after game creation? 10 seconds after drop. So if a Shaco drops on the ground and it gets allocated to you, you have 10 seconds to pick it up before anyone can. Interesting idea. What made you guys want to try it? Just to get more people playing pub games. Have the option, right? So what's the purpose of this? Help prevent people from stealing in group maps with rules? No, it's more so because people are more... I feel like people are more incentivized to play together if they feel protected by some law. It's the reality of it. And so hopefully this just kind of makes people feel like they have that protection so that they feel okay about playing with other people. How do Hork Titans work? Allocate randomly still? Correct, yeah, because they drop from a mod. It's more a psychological thing than anything. You know, like say you're not playing a class that can telestomp, right? So you can't pick up loot easily. Say you're not playing a melee class, so you don't feel like you can pick up loot easily. And you want to feel like you can play in a group and you have that protection that you're going to get loot, right? Or that you have a chance of getting loot, right? You feel protected. You can get loot, you know? So yeah. Again, it's a protection to feel like you can get loot in a group without having to be the fastest guns in the West, right? Um, my one friend picks up everything or every piece of loot before others somehow, so this could be interesting. Yeah. Um, it doesn't solve that though if the randomly allocated player is a thief. Well, I mean, you can't really steal stuff if it's getting allocated, right? I mean, I'm sorry, if you take more than 10 seconds to pick up an item, that's kind of on you. That's a long time. How often is the person chosen? It's completely random. It's a dice roll. So just think of basically the way you can think of this is a enforced dot roll on more rare items, if that makes sense, right? So it's an enforced dot roll on a pool of items, basically. It's auto dot roll.